Hello, and welcome to another edition of Nintendo Games and Junk. I'll admit, I forgot to do an intro for this video. I didn't record one, so I kind of got lazy, and I don't want to go back and record more footage, so I'm just going to do a voiceover intro. I don't even know what I'd show off, really. There's nothing I'd really show for this. This is Catching Up Volume 3. It's going to be a long one. There's 6 days that I missed of games. Well, really 5, but 5 to 6, I guess. Well, you'll see why I call it 5, but it's actually 6. It's gonna be long. There's a lot of games here, a lot of good ones, a lot of ones I got for good prices, I think, if I remember correctly. And you'll get to see pretty much like a whole year of games. Pretty much, this whole video is a whole year recorded, so it's very interesting to watch. I guess maybe I'm just like saying like things that could be false. This could be boring to watch. I don't know. I'm filling time at this point. Let's just get this thing started, and I'll shut up now. Bye. Alright, here we go. The first section from, I believe it's August 19th, 2020. I had a picture reference for this, so I knew what games I got that day, and let's just start with the NES games. Solar Jetman right off the bat. Solar Jetman, really interesting game. It's kind of like a Lunar Lander type game where you have to like use gravity to like fly around and collect stuff. It's actually a better comparison would probably be Thrust on the Commodore 64. Those kind of games, one of the Thrust conversions or whatever. Any game where you have to like fly around using weird gravity and collecting stuff. I think in this you gotta collect like ship parts, right? To like build a ship, and you gotta collect fuel and stuff. It's a pretty fun game. I actually really enjoy it, but it gets very tough very quickly. And the sprite art is just gorgeous in this game. The game looks beautiful for an NES title. It really does. And I mean, it's got a lot of content. It's got 12 worlds, and they're pretty big worlds. So I mean, you know, I'd recommend giving it a shot. It's experimental, that's for sure. And funny enough, there's actually was going to be a C64 port of this game at one point. It got canceled, but it was found. So you can play it and, you know, run it on like an emulator or something and play it for yourself. So it's available. I'll probably put a link in the description too so you can check it out. Yeah, Solar Jetman, very unique game. I like it a lot, but I need to give it more time, I think, to actually get used to it. And we have Commando. Commando, classic arcade port. I personally think the 7800 version's better, but this is still a solid enough port. It's just, man, the Atari one's so much better. It really is. The music, the graphics, it's not like a flickery mess like this one is. It's just, I mean, the 7800 one just blows this out of the water. It really does. But still, it's fine. It's a fine port. I will say this. Thank God this was not made by Micronics, because if Micronics got their hands on this, oh, that would have been even worse. It would have been rough as hell. But still, it's a fine game. But really, if you want to play Commando on a home console, you know, try to find the Atari 7800 version. It's a rare game to find, but if you can find it, it's well worth your time. Or, you know, you can always emulate it too. You know, emulation's your friend. You know, or you can get this for like $6 like I did. You boys like Game Boy games. I sure do, actually. Here's Klax for the Game Boy Color. I am a big fan of Klax. Klax is great. My favorite port is the NES version. NES version is the best. But I think I played this for like a little bit just to test it out, and it's a serviceable port of Klax. Nothing really to say about it. It's just, you know, you like Klax, want it on the go. This is Klax, and it's in color, too. So, hey, there you go. And we have Game & Watch Gallery 4, which I'm a big fan of the Game & Watch Gallery games. I need to play this one still, but it is a, you know, any Game & Watch Gallery game is going to be good. You know, so I definitely want to check this out later. I think I'm missing, I have 1, 2, and 4. I might have 3, maybe? I don't know if I have 3, maybe. I know there's like also like the weird kind of DS Game & Watch Gallery that kind of is hard to find things for Club Nintendo members exclusively. Not entirely sure, but I'll have to get that at some point. But yeah, there's Game & Watch Gallery 4. Very, very nice. Now we have a couple PS1 offerings. We have Ridge Racer. Yes, the original Ridge Racer from 1994, actually. Yes, when this was launched, this was kind of like a PS1 launch title, I think. And PS1 originally came out in 94 in Japan, so for 1994, these graphics on a home system were definitely mind-blowing. And still, the game has a certain charm to it with its low-poly style. I certainly think it looks charming. And I believe the actual amount of game data is so small that you could play it, take out the disc, and even use your own disc for music. So you could play different music during the game. Because that's to actually read the music off the disc. But the memory of the console, I mean, the game's memory is still stored in the console. I don't know, we know how it works, but it just works somehow. This is $3.99. Of course, it's not the original case, but, you know, it's fine. The game is original, that's what matters. And the game is, pretty cool from what I've played, you know. It's classic Namco. I still stand by that I think the PS1 era was kind of Namco's golden age, because they were releasing tons of games for the PS1. They had Tekken, they had Ridge Racer, they had Pac-Man World, Point Blank, Ace Combat. There was just stuff everywhere, and a lot of it was pretty good. Oof, yeah, sorry for that kind of awkward pause there. It's no big deal. I think I just heard someone else, and I didn't know who was up, and it's fine. Someone else was awake, and I didn't want anything to happen. I don't know. And then we have Spyro Year of the Dragon. Now, there's a bit of an issue with this one, and it's kind of a minor one, but also kind of a major one for me. He has Black Label, huh? Black Label, PlayStation. Or this kind of black edge. This is the version 1.0 of the game, which means there are a lot of bugs, some of which are game-breaking, and the music is not all finalized. Some of the songs are missing, which means a lot of music is reused, and what's funny is that the final boss uses the first Homeworld theme, so you just hear the really cheerful Sunrise Spring music during the final boss fight, which is extremely unfitting. And it's a shame, because this is, again, well, I didn't say it before, but Spyro 3 is my favorite game of all time. I love this game to death, and it's nice to have a new copy of it. I'm very happy to have this, but it's not greatest hits, you know, it's not the full experience, so it's a bit disappointing, but I'm still happy to have it, and I'll still probably finish it anyways. And it was $7, so, hey, with the original case and manual and disc, I mean, it can't really beat that. It definitely beats eBay prices, that's for sure. So, there you have it. Okay, so this part will be a little bit short since, well, I already have a video on the topic in the works, so you'll see the shelf in depth later on, but for a quick look, yeah, it's a shelf. I got it, I think, in October of 2020, and there's some things you won't see in the other recordings, probably, like this little, duster that my mom got, which helps with getting the dust off. There's some birthday cards, my, COVID things. Hopefully there's no, like, personal information on them. I don't think so. I think the stickers and stuff are conveniently covering it up, I hope. My wallet, Gumby, some other toys, and just a whole bunch of games. And, yeah, that's really about it. I mean, it's a solid shelf. I mean, you know, it's very sturdy, well put together. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break, you know. Very well made, and, yeah, it's just great. It's a very nice shelf, yeah. Yeah, this card has nothing on it. I'm just looking at it to check. There's nothing private on there. But yeah, it can definitely store a lot more games than my old one. Now, one thing I do want to get are some little separators, so I can split these two rows in half, so I don't have any games stacked on top of each other, because stacking games is a no-no, because if you get a game from, like, down there, then obviously gravity's going to do its magic, and that's going to, you know, fall down. But still, This is a really nice shelf, and I'm happy with it. So yeah, there you go. On to the next section of the video. Alright, I have gotten some much needed water, and now let's get into the final pickups. These are all on November 7th. There we go, there's a 7 kind of. And November 7th was an interesting day, because Disc Creepway was doing something, they announced something where they were opening the quote-unquote vault. I don't know what that was all about. I guess just they had a bunch of stuff that was rare or interesting. It was meant to be like a showcase of rare items, and it wasn't super exciting. They had Earthbound, I'll say that much. They had a legit copy of Earthbound, which is pretty cool. It was like $200 or something. I was never gonna buy it, and you know, I already emulate Earthbound, so that's fine. I don't really need a real copy of it. I can go with that one. But they had some other stuff. They had a lot of games with manuals. They had a copy of Gemfire, a super rare game for the NES, a strategy game, and that was $100, I think. So yeah, it was a bit interesting. Nothing too crazy, but it was kind of cool, and I got a decent amount of games. So let's just start with the NES stuff. Let's just get into it. By the way, all these games came with manuals, which is very nice. That's not only, you know, a few games ticked off, but it's also 6 manuals ticked off. 6? I can't do it with my one hand. 6. I don't know. Anyways, this first one up is Fester's Quest. Fester's Quest is a very controversial game amongst NES fans. I tend to, I think it's interesting, I'll say that much. I haven't played it a whole lot, but I am intrigued by it. I want to get into this game more, so I will come back to that at a later date, but I did play a little bit, and I thought it was, again, intriguing. I'll say that much. I'll just move that to the side. Here's the price for that. Next up is... oh, what is next? Oh, it's Othello. Yeah. Othello! Yeah, it's a board game. It's, you know, bore, you know, very much applies here, because this game's boring. Nothing exciting about it. You see this game all the time. I only got it because it had this nice manual, and, hey, look at that, it's in full color, so that's actually kind of nice. I always like full color manuals, they're very, very pretty to look at. Yeah, the game is just, yeah, honestly, if you want to play this game, go play Spot instead. Spot's way more fun. Much better animation and graphics, and it's much more enjoyable overall than this. This is just blech. It is what it is. Now we have, I think, yeah, Double Dragon 2. I love Double Dragon 2. Double Dragon 2 is great. Probably one of my favorite beat-em-ups ever. Definitely my second favorite beat-em-up on the NES. My favorite of all time is Mighty Final Fight, but I don't have that one yet, but I'm hoping to get it someday. And it came with a manual. The game is in absolutely fantastic condition. Manual's in great shape. Again, full color, which I love. You know, just a great game. I love this game. In fact, I might actually even play it later. We'll see. I do kind of want to play it. Galaga. Yes, Galaga. Galaga was a pain in the ass to find, because Galaga was always like $15 or $20 on eBay, just for the cart. I was like, why? Galaga is like such a common game. It's Galaga. It's like, who would pay that much for an arcade port? Like, come on now. It's such a common game. I never thought it was worth that much. But I decided to bite the bullet because this one happened to come with an instruction manual, which I need for the collection. So, we have that manual now. And, yeah, it's very, very green. I'll say that much. Yeah, oh, there's the little Galaxian boss, the Gal boss. And yeah, Galaga is finally in my collection. I probably could have done better on the price, but, it's fine. I have it now, so I can finally say that I have it. And now we have 2 doubles. We have Iron Sword, which I got for the manual mainly. That is a double. Where's the price on this? There's no price for Iron Sword? Is it on the cartridge? It's on the cartridge. There's the price. It was $6. Yeah, that's pretty fair, honestly, for the manual and game. It's pretty standard. And then, Golf. Classic black box stuff with the manual. The Golf manual. See, this, again, I never see these instruction manuals for black box games. These are very hard to find for me. I don't know why, but here it is. And, again, this is a double, but it's a good double to have. Just because, you know, it's an alright golf game. It's not too bad. And, again, has a manual. So now I have a black box game with a box, and a black box game with a manual. Now I just need one with both, and preferably all 30 with both, but maybe someday in the future we'll find those legendary games. I'd have to get all the games in box, honestly, that's my goal. My goal is to get a full set of games with all the boxes and manuals before I die, hopefully. And just as a little bonus treat, there's a couple other games. Joust is an absolute classic. Actually a pretty big fan of Joust. I didn't think I was, but Joust is pretty alright, and price is a bit iffy though. I kind of could have gone without paying $10 for it, but hey, it's a great game. And well, you know, I haven't tested this yet, have I? Oh dang, I played the NES games. I don't think I played this one yet. I should probably do that later to make sure that it works. It's probably no big deal if it doesn't. Manual, again, I'm not going for Atari manuals specifically. I don't really want Atari manuals, to be honest. I just don't really want to go after them, but it's kind of cool that this has it, so whatever, I'll take it. We also have 2 Game Boy Advance games. Frogger, I love Frogger. This is the Forgotten Relic. Kind of like an open world, like, adventure Frogger, almost. If you ever watched, go watch the Nitro Rad review. All the Game Boy... Fuck off with the stupid bullshit. If you're interested, go watch the Nitro Rad video where he covers all the Frogger Game Boy Advance games. This is one of them, and that one's kind of like a open world, almost like Legend of Zelda kind of Frogger game, where it's like an adventure type deal. And I'm actually kind of excited to play this one. I haven't tried it yet, I don't think, so looking forward to this one. I love Frogger, and I like the overhead games the best, so this should be a pretty good one, hopefully. Well, all of them are overhead. It's just there's that one, the one forbidden Frogger that was not overhead. Yeah, I think we all know what that one is. We got Mario Advance. Mario Advance 2, yes. AKA Mario World, which is it's a port of, and Mario World's great, and I saw it, and it was like, it's an okay price. You know, I'll take it. And yeah, I haven't played it much, but it does work. I did try it. And yeah, there you go, it's Mario World. And that's everything for November 7th. I think it was November 7th, right? I can't remember now. Yeah, there you go, that's everything. And that will wrap up this edition of Catching Up.
Bruh.
Alright, now we have the games that I got, whatever day it was, put it here in the video as white text with an orange outline, italicized. Put it there. There you go, that's when I got these games, and, got 2 bags. This one's actually a library bag, or bookstore bag, Barnes & Noble. This was the stuff from Video Games, etc. Now, you may be wondering, is just nothing from Disc Replay today? And you'd be correct, actually. There is nothing I got at Disc Replay this day. When I went there, the selection was just piss poor. It was like just, they had barely anything there. No Atari games. Well, they had Atari games, so it was all fucking Combat, Pac-Man, Defender, sports games, all the same shit. Very few NES games. All just either ones I already had, or just really, really crappy titles. It was abysmal. So, sadly, Disc Replay was a complete bust, but we still got some stuff. So, even with Disc Replay shittiness, we still got a couple things. And, let's actually start with the library. I keep saying library. The bookstore. It's not a library, it's a bookstore. You buy books, you don't rent books or borrow books. But I mean, I always usually look at the bookstore for like DVDs and toys and stuff. But yeah, anyways, we have another volume of Mystery Science Theta 3000. Yes. This is volume 35. It includes these 4 episodes: Teenage Caveman, Being from Another Planet, 12 to the Moon, and Deathstalker. Now, I have actually watched Deathstalker on here. It is a very funny episode. It's from Season 7, which I'd say Season 7 is probably the best season of MST3K. It is just, they just nailed it with each episode. Just, it was Trace's final season 2 as Crow and Dr. Forrester, so he really went out with a bang, I think. Especially Laser Blast. Laser Blast is so goddamn good. Just Eddie Deason is just fucking such a character in that movie, man. And the stop motion aliens and just, it's a great episode. But yeah, I'm happy to have that now. And I haven't seen Teenage Caveman or 12 to the Moon, so I'm looking forward to seeing those. Here's a fish, a Cheep from Mario. Oh, by the way, you can still buy that on Shout Factory. So I'm not gonna probably put much of a, I'll put a price there, but actually let's see, what did I pay for this thing actually? Hold on, that's probably a good idea. Let's look at the receipt. That'd probably be good, huh? See, buy 1 fresh baked cookie. Well, I didn't get any cookies. The receipt's all crumpled up. Let me see. What did I pay for this thing? Should not have any personal information. I mean, it's just a receipt. Who cares? It's not gonna have any personal info on it, I don't think. Yes, I live in Iowa. What a shocker. Oh boy, you're gonna know where I live. I live in Iowa. Oh, scary. Okay. This cost me $30. Alright, $30 is what I paid for that. And I think on Shout Factory it's like 45 or something, 48. So I actually got a pretty good deal on that. I guess maybe it was old, they're trying to get rid of it. But yeah, there we go. And this cheap fella. This cost me $10. I think you can maybe still find these somewhere. It's by Sine. And Sine makes very good plushies and is very cute. I love him. Kind of like a little beanbag almost. Well, he's like plushy here, but like here's kind of like a beanbag texture. Very interesting, but I love him. Now, here's the funny thing about this. I actually saw this exact same plush at Disc Replay. But in a strange turn of events, the one at Disc Replay was actually more expensive. Now, usually the bookstore is all full of expensive stuff. Like, the bookstore charges up the ass for things. But this one was actually $5 cheaper than the one at Disc Replay. So, yeah, there you go. There it is. That's really weird. Shh, don't say it. Don't reveal private information. Your social security number. Okay. But yeah. I love him. He's great. I love the fish in Mario. He got little wings and a cool mohawk. He's great. I love him. Funny fish. Very, very funny. Now, for video games, etc. Yes, etc. Not etc. like I used to say. Here's a Namco Museum Volume 3 and Volume 1 right here. These are just replacement cases and not original. You can kind of tell by the quality of the picture. Maybe not here, but like in person you can definitely tell there's a reprinting. Also, I think that should give it away. That shouldn't be white. It should be like either... Well, the PlayStation thing should be here, shouldn't it? Or, I don't know, maybe not. But it's definitely... It shouldn't be just pure white. I know that. It shouldn't just be white. And also, this looks very low quality. It's very hard to read. At least, that stuff is not very easy to read. But actually, it's funny. It's easier to read through the viewfinder than looking at it in person. I can still read it, but, it must really... I don't know how that works. It's still hard to read, but, I think I can read it up... I think you can see a bit better through the viewfinder. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, apparently one of our copies of these was, scratched or something, so we got replacements of both, because they just happen to have both for $3. What a steal. And they're not technically, you're not going to get the manual or the original case, but, for $3 and 7 arcade games on this one, 6 on that one, it's not a bad deal. You're getting 13 arcade games for $6. I mean, and plus a bunch of extras, like, concept art and, a 3D museum and music and all that stuff. It's actually pretty good little package. And I do think that Volumes 1 and 3 are my favorite volumes of the Namco Museum. I think they're the best ones. I think they're the most common ones for a reason, because they just have the best game selection. And also it has Toy Pop. And I love Toy Pop. If you know me, you know I'm a big fan of the Toy Pop. The popping of toys. Here you go. Here's Cycross. This is a game by FCI, who also published Lunar Pool. What did this one cost me? Let me get the receipt after this. Let me see. It's in there, come on. I think I found it. Here it is. Yes, what did I pay for this thing? Oh, yeah, it was discounted 10% off. But I think they added a sales tax anyways, so it doesn't really even matter. But I would imagine this probably would be like about $5. I think I paid for this. That's what it said. Why even have the fucking sales tax if you're gonna... Or why even have a discount if you're already gonna have a sales tax? I mean, I guess it'll be less anyways, but still, fuck taxes. Honestly, taxes are a pain in the ass. But yeah, that was like $5 for Cycross. Cycross is not a bad game. I like Cycross quite a bit, actually. I like the music a lot. It has nice music. You're just kind of like on a motorcycle, or like some kind of space-age motorcycle, knocking any other enemy, shooting stuff. It's good fun. I like it. And here's Section Z. I think both this and Cycross are like next to each other alphabetically, like on the list of NES games. They're like both right next to each other, which is kind of funny. But yeah, there's Section Z. 5-screw Section Z. This is kind of like a cross between like a shooter and like kind of a Metroid type game with like different areas to explore. I haven't played much of it, but I am fascinated by it. I want to keep playing it. I know that the Famicom Disk System version actually had a save feature, so you could save your game in that. This does not have that, sadly, but, right. I definitely want to play more of this at some point and maybe get into it, see what I think of it. Maybe I can even finish it. But I heard it's really difficult, so maybe not, but we'll see. And we have an Atari game. I know I have more than this. I'll go with the other ones in a little bit, actually. I got more than just this one Atari game. That's Outlaw. Wait, they're not even on the receipt, are they? Wait, what? It just says used retro game. This receipt is fucked up beyond belief, I'll say that much. Oh shit. This receipt is fucked. I can say that much. Okay, well I got the other games here. I just have one problem. I don't know how much I paid for these. The receipt is so awful. It doesn't even say how much I paid for the games. It just says retro game. 1, which I didn't buy just one of that. Oh. Almost maybe it was like there's like a buy whatever get one free deal or something. I don't know. Maybe it's what it was. Maybe I got one of them free. Could be. I don't know which one it would have been though. Fuck it. Let's just assume all these cost me like. Let's just assume that all these were at the store for like $5 each. Let's just say that $5 each for each one. Let's just assume that. Maybe one could be like $3, so it'll be the free game. I don't know how that worked exactly, but I just don't know what I paid for these. I don't remember. I don't have that big of a brain to remember. But I at least know what games I bought. So here they are. Here's Haunted House. Kind of an early survival horror game. Not really survival, but kind of, the genesis of that genre. Kind of where it all began. Very simplistic, but still a fun game to beat. just to play for like one simple round or a couple rounds. It's an alright game. Outlaw, you know, this is one, much like Combat, you really need a second player for this or else it's kind of pointless, but Outlaw is interesting, it's in the West, and there's like a coach that moves around, and there's no like horses in the game that like that. They didn't do graphics for those. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Now, Moon Patrol is a great game. I love Moon Patrol in the arcade, and this is a perfectly good port of it. It even has music. If you flip one of these switches on the console, it actually plays the theme song. So yeah, very good port. This game, for the hardware at least, very, very good. And my other thing I got was an Iron Sword Complete box that I gotta go get up and show you. I looked it up too. Receipts. I'm pretty sure receipts only have can only be harmful to show if it's like your credit card information. But I don't have anything like that. So yeah, obviously no credit card information. I use real cash for these. So yeah, no credit card or debit card or anything like that. So I think I'm fine showing off that. Okay, let's go to the shelf and look at Iron Sword. So, here it is. Now here's the funny thing, right? Before I had gotten Iron Sword, just the cartridge, and Iron Sword with the manual, which, oh yeah, here's the manual on its own. And then, I got it, cartridge, manual, and fucking box. Yes, I have 3 copies of Iron Sword. No bloody idea why, but here it is. The box is actually in really good shape too. So I'm happy. That's really all there to say about it. And yeah, there you go. That's Iron Sword. All the other boxes I'll have to put it away later. Hello, Ricky and Vicky. So there's actually a couple of bonus games here too. Now, the very next day after we went to the mall and stuff, my parents went on a little trip and went to another game store nearby in a different town. It was in the same state, but just different town. And these were all ones that, I don't have either of these, but these are ones I picked out. They sent over some pictures, and I picked them out. I think because of how poor the selection was at Disc Replay, they're like, hey, we'll get you a couple things and we'll pay for them. So I did not pay for these, they did, and I'm very generous, or I'm very thankful that they're so generous. I'm very thankful that they got these for me, especially because one of them is actually pretty hard to find. So I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. And let's just reveal it right now. There it is. Oh, and there's Galaxian behind it. This is Motor Psycho. Now, Motor Psycho is a game that is so hard to find that it's not even on eBay right now. Well, it will be on eBay. It is on eBay, but they're all PAL copies. This is actually an NTSC copy. So, yeah, this is a legit NTSC copy, which I know because I've tested it and it works on my American system. So yes, it is NTSC. And these are especially hard to find. I don't know why. I guess maybe not a lot of people bought it. Maybe it was just more popular in Europe. But yeah, European copies are more plentiful. These ones are actually pretty hard to find, and I would go as far as to say rare. So now I have a genuinely, an actually rare game. I actually own one. Well, one that's genuinely hard to find. One that you can't find on eBay. And it's actually, not a bad game either. It's kind of like Pole Position 2. Well, actually, it's very much in the same vein as Pole Position 2. You have to, shift gears, drive around a track, avoid other cars. It's all that kind of stuff. Avoid crashing into signs. I believe there's like little arrow signs on the road. But it's all on the motorcycle. Yeah, it's a pretty collectible game, and I'm happy to have it. Unfortunately, there is no end label, but that's not a big deal. The actual label itself is in okay shape. It's beat up, sure, but at least it's, intact. You can actually, it's not the worst I've seen. So I'm still happy to have it. because how often do you see Motorcycle? And for $25, I think it's worth it, to be honest. For a game this collectible, I think it's worth it. So, there we go, there's that. And also, I didn't even pay for it, so that helps me, too. And then we have Galaxian, much more tame, in terms of collectability, but still a very nice game to have. This cost, I think, $5. They were charging for this one. I would imagine it'd be $5. But yeah, it's a very nice port of Galaxian. I actually kind of prefer it over the arcades slightly, because I think the ship in this moves faster. So it's a bit smoother to play. But other than that, it's still just classic Galaxian. And now I have all but one of the Namco Midway kind of titles. I don't have Junior Pac-Man, which I guess you might not count that because that's all Midway. Namco had no involvement with that, but I count it because it's Pac-Man. I think it counts just as a Pac-Man title, so yeah, I'm still missing Junior Pac-Man, but I have all the other ones: Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Galaxian, Dig Dug, and Pole Position. I think that's everything that I have, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, there you go. This one gets special treatment. Fuck that game. Okay, we have finally reached the end. Finally reached the end of this crazy edition of Catching Up. 6 days missed. And yet here we are, we managed to catch up. Can you believe it, folks? Well, hey, that's the thing, you don't think you can catch up, but if you just try hard enough and get the work done, you'll catch up eventually, surprisingly. Where should we start? That's a very weird angle. Here we go. Here's The Simpsons, the complete 4th season. I believe this is the one that Larry Bundy Jr. loves to shove up his bum, so, there you go, there's that. Yeah, it's $10, and we have a lot of episodes here that I actually haven't watched. I really should watch it at some point, I really should. I know, Simpsons is so classic, the old ones, I just gotta actually, sit down and watch these, because I know I'm gonna like them, I know they're funny, but I just haven't done it. I don't know why, I just haven't done it. I don't know, dude, I just haven't done it. But yeah, there you go. Another season down, and, I'm trying to get all of the, I guess, quote-unquote good seasons. Good seasons, I guess. And I know it's subjective, but these are, the ones that matter. So, seasons 1 to 8, pretty much, are the only ones I'm looking for, and after that, I'm done. Yeah, there you go. That's, season 4. Speaking of things in box, we have a goal. A goal complete in the box. Yes, goal. And, was this a freebie? Was there, a free deal or something? I can't actually remember. Oh yeah, this cost me $5, didn't it? Yeah, there was some deal. This cost me $5 complete in box. I think originally it was 15, but I guess I got 10 off. Don't know how that happened or why that was a thing, but yeah. From the makers of Bases Loaded. So yes, another complete in box game. Surprising. And I think, isn't there an issue of this one? Yeah, there's a tab missing, that's right. Well, besides that, the box is in great shape, and honestly, if the tabs are missing, it's not that big of a deal. If the box itself looks great, that's fine. It's a bit upsetting, but still. For $5, you can't go wrong. Even if it's a shitty game, I'm not upset that I got it. It's another game for the collection, another box game for the collection, so I'm gonna take it and enjoy it. Move that to the side there. Here's the bag. This is from the mall, by the way. This is from the actual proper game store. Starting off with Frogger. Yes, surprising, a Genesis game. You don't really see Genesis games on the show very often. But, yeah, here's one. Frogger. Hands down, the best home port of Frogger probably ever. It is pretty much arcade perfect. It is crazy how accurate it is to the arcade. Even if there's like a couple differences in sound and whatnot, it's not like 100%. It's more like a 99.999 or whatever percent accurate, but still, it is great. And I love Frogger. I'm a big fan of the Frogger arcade game. I'm happy to have it on Genesis now, finally, and it's the best port. You know, it's funny how he uses the Frogger 97 art, which I guess makes sense. This is 98. This came out, but it kind of makes it seem like it's the Frogger for PlayStation and Windows, even though it's not that at all. It's just a port of the arcade game, but it could be a bit confusing. I don't know. Still, great port of a great game. Love me some Frogger. And hey, now I actually own the last official Genesis game. I own it now, so there's something. And you could say it ended on a whimper because it's just a regular arcade port, big whoop. But I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. And again, I'm a big Frogger fan, so happy to have it. Here we have a joystick. This is an Epix joystick. It's cost me $15. It says on the receipt. Well, actually, yeah, it says right there, $15. I didn't have to read it. It's a joystick. It's an awkward one to use. I was excited about it because I thought initially that it was for the Atari, but nope, it's an NES port. So, yep, it's NES only, which is a shame because I would have loved to have this for my 7800 so I could play some games with it, but no, it's NES only. But still, it's not a bad joystick, honestly. It's very clicky, which I like. I love the clickiness of it. It means it has high quality micro switches in it, which means it's very well made. So yeah, it's got those nice micro switches. Buttons are also micro switched too, but kind of weird. This is kind of a weird shape overall. Kind of cramps my hand. But still, I can think of worse controllers to use. Like the N64 controller. That thing is nightmarish. Never even want to touch that thing. But yeah. Or, like, what's another really bad one? Oh, how about the Atari 7800 sticks? The ones that are so stiff that you feel like you're gonna, like, break them off. Or, like, where the thing spins around. It should be a paddle, but it's not. Yeah, those things. Ugh. Gross. Gross joysticks. This one's okay, though. I could probably use this for Pac-Man or, like, maybe even, like, one of the Dig Dug games. Dig Dug 2. It's not bad. I think I played a Cycross with it and enjoyed it, so, yeah. There you go. This is a fine joystick. And to round off this section, we have a trio of Atari games. We have a new player here, Coleco. Coleco games for the Atari. I do not have any Coleco games before this. Now I got two of them, Venture and Donkey Kong. And I'll be honest, neither of them are very good. They're both very mediocre games, to be frank. Venture, again, is an arcade port. It might be the better of the two technically, but I don't know. It's confusing. I don't really like it. It's kind of a mess. It's like kind of almost like an early kind of like dungeon crawler kind of thing where you go into different areas and kind of like collect things and kind of has a bit of a Berserk vibe with the shooting. Almost kind of reminds me of what's that game? Route 16 Turbo, where it kind of like you go into different areas. You have like an overview map and then you go and it zooms in kind of. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I'm not really a big fan of it. Donkey Kong is probably the more fun one to play, but this is an infamously bad version of Donkey Kong. I mean, it's playable, but it's just lacking in everything. The graphics are bad, the sounds are bad. Gameplay is passable. It only has 2 levels, though, and it's just weak. It's weak sauce. And, let's see. One of these games was free. I guess it was some, like, buy 4, get 1 deal. Get 1 free deal, probably. One of these is free. One of them is $4. One of them is $5. So, let's just say all these Atari games cost me $9 in total, which, for 3, is honestly a really shitty deal now that I think about it. But the other store had, jack shit for Atari games, and I guess $3 per game isn't really that bad. It's fine. Now, the real crown jewel is Phoenix. Phoenix is actually really good on Atari. The arcade game's kind of weird. It's kind of, like, jumpy and kind of has, like, a really, really sad music for some reason. It's, like, really depressing music. I don't know why. It just sounds really annoying, but the Atari version is great. It's actually a really good port of the game, and it's actually a lot of fun. I would actually argue that Phoenix is a far better game than Demon Attack, which people seem to prefer, which is kind of like a Phoenix clone. I think this game is much better than that. But yeah, Phoenix is the real gem of this collection. Phoenix is great on Atari. You can find it. I highly recommend it. Way more over Demon Attack. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it for this edition of Catching Up. And, yeah, I think, some more games that I'll be showing off soon. I'm planning on going to the mall again soon, because it was just my birthday. I turned 18. Wow, wonderful. I'm now an actual adult, even though I've kind of been one for like 3 years now, but all of a sudden, I'm 18, so now I just am an adult magically. Wow. Wonderful. Wacky. Okay. But yeah, I got some new stuff coming up soon. New gaming video projects, I want to do more of my podcast as well. I want to do another edition of that, because that's fun. Maybe have some other guests. I have some, gaming analysis stuff, which I think is going to be interesting. I think you guys will like that. Some, gaming analysis videos and, just retrospective stuff. I want to do more serious content about games. There's something I'm really passionate about, and it was kind of an embarrassing thing. I didn't want to be known as just, the game guy in my family. It's kind of an embarrassing thing, because, nerdy and stupid. But, at this point, I've just fully embraced it, Because games are beautiful, in their own weird, quirky way. And I want to talk about them and make, content about them. So, they're just fun little filler videos that ended up being too big. At least this one was too big. But I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully you'll stick around for more. So stay tuned for more Catching Up and Nintendo Games and Junk and all that jazz. And any other content that I may post on here, like speedruns. I want to do more Frog the Great Quest speedruns, of course. More Let's Plays and stream archives and just any kind of gaming content. That's going to be my main focus now. I mean, it kind of has been, but this is really going to just go full force with it. So, there you go. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Go, have a cup of tea or something, why don't you?
A sex man! Film!
My balls, my balls, my balls, my balls.
You fucking dick! Fuck you!